Hi everybody and welcome to your first lesson of this week. The title is The Siege and our learning objective is how to survive to use word choice to present the effects of the siege on Anna and her family. Before we start, let's consider what a siege is. It's a military operation in which enemy forces surround a town or building, cutting off essential supplies with the aim of compelling those inside to surrender. The text is based on a true story about the siege of Leningrad in Russia during World War II. The city of Leningrad was surrounded by German forces who were stopping the supply of food and other essentials getting into the city. There were over 1 million civilian casualties, and it's a really sad story of the effects of the siege on the civilian population. So, what I'd like to do first of all is read this text, and I'd like you to get a highlighter out, and I would like you to pick out every time you think you see evidence of the effects of the siege and highlight it. You can see I've done the first two there. So pause here, read and highlight the effects of the siege. Okay, let's go through some answers then. What are the effects of the siege? Well, firstly, you might have picked out the bread queue. People having to queue up for food. That's become a little bit of a reality here, but in this case, there's just not enough food. And the people are hungry. And you could tell that from the smell of it. It drifts out as if from the lips of heaven. Wow. Anna's really, really hungry. The smell of bread has become a focal point for her life, and she's desperate to get some. Okay, another effect. Well, we've got a secret pocket here. I don't know about you, but I don't have any secret pockets sewn into my coat clothing. But this is interesting. What does it tell us about the effects of the siege? Well, you only have a secret pocket if you're actually really worried about somebody finding something, stealing it from you. We might use the word paranoia. She's really extremely worried, probably not unfoundedly, about losing her ration card. And that's an effect of the siege. And the ration cards have become a really key part of survival because food has become everything, their main focus. So she says you can survive a day without food, but not a month, and you need the ration cards for a whole month of food. What about here? What if she fainted and was robbed of the cards? She'd be safer if they went together. Well, actually, the effect here seems to be worry. Anna is really worried by this siege situation, and she's doing a lot of what-if scenarios in her head, which is a sign that she's considering lots of negative possibilities. And we might have picked out down here that she's the only one left with strength, and that Marina's cough is bad. So another effect of the siege is illness. Here's an interesting facet. So Anna has to prepare every day carefully, as like a marathon runner would prepare for their run. So the effect of the siege there is to make Anna, what could we say, careful, ritualistic, meticulous might be a good word. So she's got like a process that she follows, that she goes through one bit at a time, and it's all to do with keeping warm because we're talking about a Russian winter. So she has like the right amount of food, a little pinch of salt and water, and a hot drink, and then she has everything warmed up around the bazooka, which is like a small stove, like a potbelly stove, that would heat their room. So I think those are all things just very meticulous. Now we've got more ifs here. If she slipped on the uncleared ice and snow, she might never be able to get up again. If someone tried to rob her, she would hit them because she's seen people fighting over a crust of bread. So more worry, more, what might you call it, planning. So she's trying to think about every eventuality and how she would get out of it. It's not just for her, this is for her whole family that she's gone to collect the food for. She swathes her face with her shawl until only her eyes show. And she's got lots of rituals around how she gets dressed. But actually, what's the effect of the siege here? Well, she's having to dress up incredibly warmly because she's going to have to queue for potentially hours in waiting in the bread queue. And finally, we'll see down here that probably a little brother says that Marina has laid out his fort and toy soldiers, and sometimes he strokes his toys, but he hasn't the energy to play with them anymore. Ultimately, people are dying from the siege. They're becoming incredibly weak and ill from starvation. So some really serious effects. Okay, let's have a look at the second activity. So in this one, it's quite fun. You have to look at the section of words up, down here. They've all been put in alphabetical order to take them out of context. But it's a way of helping you look at the word choices the writer has made. It's quite fun. Some categories of words have been chosen for you, so like war, danger, illness. Find examples of words to fit each category. Some words have been chosen to help you get started. What's the effect of these different word choices on the reader? So, and the extension is that we've got 3 categories down here with nothing written in them. I've written in mine, but you can write your own categories down there and find your own words to fit in them. Now you're going to need to probably read this through a couple of times to fill in these ones and see if you can find some other ones to put in these 3. So, for example, war words, they picked up ration. If you don't know what ration is, it's when you have to apportion a certain amount of food or other essentials per person. And it usually is to make sure nobody has too much, but it also often means that it just isn't enough. If something's rationed, it's limited. Soldier, hate and fighting. What about danger words? What about words of illness? I'd like you to pause here before we go through the answers. Have a go yourself. Okay, so danger words. What about rob, robbed, grappling, thieves, hit and hide? What about illness? Cough, fainted, dizzy, shuffles, stick, slipped. All signs of the physical weakness they're experiencing from the prolonged starvation. And the danger words showing that actually they're as much in danger from other citizens as they are from the enemy outside or even the troops on the inside. Food words. What did you find? I found bread, crust, drinks, eats, mg, salt, smell, and heaven. I have to say, there actually weren't many food words. In fact, the only direct ones were bread and crust, which I personally think shows that there's little food, but much longing for it. You know, that image of heaven. Oh, the bread smells like heaven. Well, some of them might get to heaven before they get the food that they're hoping for. Quite sad, really. What do we learn from clothes words? Well, I picked out boots, jacket, coat, footcloth, scarf, scarf and shawl. Oh, they all sound like cold weather clothes to me. And it also shows how important that is to survival, because if she can't queue for long enough, she won't get the bread. About family. Well, I found lots that I thought were to do with the family, because actually it was all about helping them and serving them. So she's got family and father, but also got saved, toys, ritual, risks, queuing, collecting, safer, and survive. So I think actually she's interested in doing the best for her family. Worry words is my one, so these are the 3 that I've made up. So I went for worry, eating, and body parts. I thought body parts interesting, but actually what she's worried about is a cold. She has to protect every part, or she could face really difficult situations. The heating words I thought was interesting. Again, an important part of survival. I mentioned earlier the bazooka is like a little pot-bellied stove that's common in Russia in this period. So important to stay warm to survive. And also the worry words. I noticed there were a lot of them. She's playing a lot of what ifs. And I think it really shows the mental strain that she's under. Well, I hope, like me, you've enjoyed exploring the word choices that Helen Dunmore has made to present the siege in a really engaging way.